Does your laundry sometimes smell musty or turn gray and you have no idea why? Our grandmas would have just smiled. They knew 30 simple tricks to make every load perfect, and the first one is so brilliant, you'll kick yourself for not knowing it sooner. If you love clean, fresh laundry, just like Grandma always had, subscribe to our channel now and look forward to more genius household hacks. Enjoy the video. Potato flour against grease stains. A drop of grease on the shirt, and Grandma knew exactly what to do. She reached for potato flour, sprinkled it calmly over the stain, and let it sit. The flour silently drew the grease from the fabric, as if it had a knack for it. The next morning, she brushed it off, washed the garment, and the stain was gone. Cotton, jeans, linen, all became clean again. For delicate fabrics, she steered clear. If no potato flour was on hand, talcum or baby powder worked too. A simple gesture, quiet and effective. Grandma needed no chemicals, just patience and a bit of know-how that's nearly forgotten today. Salt for red wine stains. A glass of red wine, a moment's inattention, and a deep red stain lands on the tablecloth. Most would grab water in a panic, but Grandma did something else. She took the salt shaker, sprinkled a thick layer over the wet spot, and waited. The salt absorbed the color, the stain weakened, and the white beneath breathed again. After a while, she rinsed the area with cold sparkling water and let it dry. If a trace remained, she added a bit of lemon juice. Even the last hint of wine vanished, as if it had never been there. Soak ink stains in milk. A dark blue, stubborn stain on the shirt. Ink digging into the fibers. Grandma knew haste wouldn't help. She set a bowl of milk on the table, submerged the fabric, and let it rest. The milk seeped into the weave, loosening pigments bit by bit. Its mild acid and fat worked quietly as time did its part. Hours later, she lifted the cloth, rinsed it in cold water, and set it aside for washing. The stain had faded, nearly gone. Whole milk worked best, she said, stronger at binding. Patience and the right touch. That's all it took to save the fabric. Lemon juice for grass or fruit stains. A shirt with green streaks from grass lies on the table. Grandma places a lemon beside it, halves it, and squeezes the juice over the stain, bright and fragrant. She lets it sit, unhurried. The citric acid breaks down the pigments clinging to the fibers. After a while, she rinses the fabric in cold water, the stain fading. If the sun shines, she lays it briefly in the light to boost the effect, as if the fabric itself breathes freer. This works for fruit or juice stains too. Lemon juice, Grandma said, clears not just taste but cloth. Simple, fresh, effective. Sun is a bleach. Grandma stepped into the yard, the sun bright above the roofs. In her hands, freshly washed laundry, still heavy with water. She hung each piece carefully, smoothed and secured. The sun worked invisibly, thoroughly. Its rays dissolved stain shadows, lightening the fabric layer by layer. White linen began to glow, the breeze carrying a scent of purity across the yard. Grandma knew the sun cleans gently, with patience. For yellowed pieces, she dampened them slightly to let the light penetrate deeper. Sky and labor merged, and the laundry dried in the day's soft radiance. Coarse soap for pre-treatment. Grandma stood at the wash basin, steam rising softly. In her hand, a smooth, pale bar of coarse soap. She rubbed it over the fabric where dirt had set, the scent plain. Fat, lye, work. The soap foamed slowly, loosening soil, grease, and dust. She worked calmly, evenly, almost reverently. The soap did its job without fragrance or color, just strength. Once the stain was gone, she set the bar aside, tidy as a tool. Clear, warm water rinsed it all away. Thus, she prepped each garment before the main wash core soap. Simple, pure, reliable as her hand. Vinegar in the rinse cycle. Grandma took a small, clear bottle from the shelf. Vinegar, her trusty ally. She poured a bit into the machine's compartment, closed it, and waited for the water's soft hum. Vinegar dissolved stubborn residues, washed away soap, and softened fibers. No scent, just cleanliness. Its acid clarified the fabric, killed bacteria, and let colors breathe. When the machine stopped, the laundry hung ready to dry, its freshness lingering. Grandma trusted the simple because it worked. A small splash of vinegar was enough to bring order to fabric, scent, everything. Baking soda against gray veil. A small packet lay open on the table, fine powder spilling over the edge. A spoonful went into the drum, and water began to rush. Baking soda dissolved what clung to the fabric, lifting the gray veil and restoring whiteness. It neutralized odors, softened water, and clarified laundry. The machine's hum grew steady, almost calm. The rising scent was clean and simple. Grandma stood by, hands clasped, attentive but unhurried. She knew when enough was enough. As the drum stilled, she lifted out bright, smooth laundry, as if light itself had worked within a simple powder, reliably effective. Soda for freshness. A jar of fine white powder sat on the table. Grandma scooped a level spoonful, letting soda fall into the drum as the cycle began. It bound odors trapped in fibers, keeping laundry fresh. It neutralized acids, dissolved residues, and kept fabrics soft. Towels and work clothes especially benefited from its strength. No scent masked the smell, it simply vanished. When the machine stopped, freshness filled the air, clear and subtle. Grandma opened the drum, checked the fabric with her fingertips, satisfied soda, plain and steadfast, kept laundry vibrant. Always close zippers. Grandma sorted laundry with a steady hand. Metal glinted among the fabrics. A half-open zipper. She closed it slowly, deliberately, the soft click filling the room. Every zipper, every seam had to be secure before washing. An open one tears threads, scratches fabric, or snags delicate fibers. Closed, everything stayed safe, neat. The machine benefited too, its interior unmarred. Grandma minded such details without fuss, out of habit. Once the last zipper was shut, the laundry could spin, undisturbed, and secure a moment of order before the hum began. Wash socks in mesh bags. A fine mesh bag lay ready, light and sheer as air. A pair of socks went in, carefully folded, the closure tightly drawn. Water and soap passed through, cleaning every fiber without strain. No pair got lost, none vanished in the drum's depths. After washing, the bag hung by the window, fabric swaying in the breeze. The sun dried what water left behind. Grandma unfastened it, removed each sock, her hands steady, almost ceremonial. She counted, checked, sorted. Nothing missing. All lay before her, clean, light, complete, as it should be. Never overload the drum. The drum stood open, light glinting off steel. The basket was full, but Grandma took only a portion. She eyed the load calmly, layering it until the space felt right. Room remained between fabric and rim, enough for water to breathe. An overloaded drum presses laundry together, trapping dirt, dulling it with space. Water cleans every fiber, preserving shape and easing the machine's work. Grandma closed the door, her hand briefly on the casing, sensing the coming rhythm. She pressed the button. A soft hum began, steady, reliable, like an old tune. Wash laundry inside out. Grandma sat at the table, a colorful pile of laundry before her, soft with fabric. She turned each piece inside out with calm precision, setting it aside. The rustle was steady. Turning protected the outer side, preserving prints, colors, and seams. In the drum, insides rubbed against insides, shielding what should stay visible. Jeans, shirts, delicate fabrics kept their form. Her movements were deliberate, each turn a small act of care. Once done, the pile was ready, as if already tended, a subtle step, but vital for what followed. Pre-sort laundry. 3 baskets stood side by side, each with a purpose. Grandma knelt before them, inspecting each piece with a calm gaze. Fabrics passed through her hands. She knew instantly where they belonged. Whites with whites, darks with darks, delicates aside. No words, just the rustle of cloth and the soft thud as each landed in its basket. Sorting wasn't forced. It was part of the work. Colors stayed true, fabrics spared, everything in place. Grandma knew cleanliness began with structure. The basket stood neatly filled, ready for the machine, a quiet moment of clarity before water took over. Empty pockets. Grandma handled each garment, checking pockets with quiet certainty. Her fingers glided over fabric and seams, seeking daily remnants, a crumpled tissue, a button, a faded note. She set them aside neatly, unhurried. Only laundry should enter the drum, nothing else. Paper dissolves into flakes. Coins clang against metal. Even a small button can harm care. Before washing, preserved what cost, effort, and time. Grandma knew cleanliness started with mindfulness. As she checked the last piece, she nodded briefly. Pockets empty, laundry ready. The machine closed with a soft click, marking the next step. Choose spin speed consciously. Grandma stood before the machine, hand on the dial. The hum faded, only dripping water audible. She turned it slowly, deliberately. Each fabric had its measure. Linen could spin hard, silk needed gentleness. Too much motion distorts fibers, breaks them. Too little leaves them wet. Balance was key. The drum began to turn, steady, calming. Water drained, laundry lightened. She waited until the hum subsided, then opened the door. A moment of stillness before air took over. Everything had its rhythm, even spinning. Alcohol or perfume against paint stains, a dark, stubborn stain on the shirt. Paint, small but persistent. Grandma set a bottle on the table, clear alcohol, simple and effective. She dabbed it with a cloth, gently lifting the color from the fibers. The sharp, clean scent rose. Perfume could work too, she said. It's alcohol doing the same if nothing else was at hand. She rinsed the fabric in cold water, setting it aside for washing. The spot lightened, nearly gone. Grandma laid the cloth down, a small victory over the stain. Her calm was part of the cleaning, as natural as the room's light. Iron wax stains with blotting paper. A wax stain on the tablecloth, dull and hard from a candle. Grandma laid the fabric on the board, smoothed it. Beside her, a warm iron and blotting paper. She placed the paper over the spot, lowered the iron, and waited. The wax melted, seeping into the paper, freeing the fabric. Another sheet, another pass, until no sheen remained. She washed the cloth with clear water, erasing final traces. The warm wax scent lingered, proof that patience outdid force. Grandma set the iron aside, satisfied with what remained. Hydrogen peroxide mix for grass stains. A pant leg draped over the basin, green stains recalling the garden. In a small bowl, Grandma mixed hydrogen peroxide with dish soap, clear and lightly foaming. A cloth soaked up the liquid, gliding over the stain, drawing out the color. A faint sizzle, a subtle scent of purity. The fibers held firm, the green faded, leaving pale cotton. By the window, light fell on her steady hands. She rinsed the fabric, draped it over the basin's edge. No rush, all in its rhythm. A simple act, demanding patience, delivering results. Towel in the dryer. The dryer hummed softly, a steady sound in the room. Among the damp laundry lay a light, soft towel tumbling along, absorbing moisture. The air in the drum dried, the laundry lightened. Fibers smoothed. Heat and motion worked together. Grandma stood nearby, feeling the warmth, glancing at the time. She opened the door, removed the warm, heavy towel. The rest stayed to finish. The towel had done its part. She draped it over a chair, smoothed, ready for next time. A simple tool, saving time and effort. Less detergent means more cleanliness. The machine's compartment stood open, detergent rustling in its pack. Grandma held the scoop, adding just a fraction, barely half. She knew what sufficed. Too much foam robs water's power, leaving residues, dulling fabric. Less meant clarity. Water could flow, rinse, carry. Fibers stayed light, the scent pure. She watched the drum's first turn, its steady spin. No excess, no waste, just the necessary, carefully measured. She closed the door, the soft click echoing a moment of restraint and calm, carrying over to laundry, room, and all that followed. Remove laundry from drum immediately. The machine's hum stopped. Only the lock's click lingered. Warm, damp steam rose, a hint of soap in the air. Grandma opened the door before the drum settled, pulling out each piece, shaking it, placing it in the basket. Her movements were calm, deliberate, unhurried. Damp fabrics need air, she said, or freshness fades. Warmth escaped, scent remained. Outside, the breeze would finish the work. The room held order, a sense of completion. She wiped the drum's edge, left it open. Everything exhaled. Laundry, machine, time. Clean washing machine regularly. The machine stood still, bearing days of work. Grandma opened the door, the metal cool under her fingers. A faint film lined the drum, barely visible, but felt. She filled a bowl with vinegar, added baking soda, the soft hiss promising cleanliness. Pouring it in, she closed the door and ran a hot cycle. Water rushed, foam rose, a clean scent filled the room. She waited, leaning against the table, hands in her lap. As the hum faded, she opened the door, wiped the drum, checked her work. All gleamed, simple and orderly. Even the machine needs care, she said, like any tool. Bleach curtains with grass trick. Grandma stepped into the garden, damp curtains over her arm, dew glinting on the grass. She spread them on the lawn, smoothing folds, checking with a practiced eye. The sun rose slowly, its light settling gently on the fabric. Moisture and warmth merged. The cloth began to brighten. The grass kept it soft. The rays clarified the white without breaking it. Grass scent mixed with the fabric's purity, a scene of morning labor. As shadows shortened, she lifted the curtains, light, fresh, bleached by the day. Vinegar and essential oil as fabric softener alternative. Grandma stood at the kitchen table, light streaming through the window, dust dancing in the air. Before her, a glass bottle and a small bowl. She poured clear vinegar, steady and deliberate, adding a few drops of lavender oil. The scent spread softly, familiar. Vinegar dissolved limescale, smoothed fibers, kept them supple. The oil lent a faint, fresh note, not overpowering, just present. The mix went into the machine's compartment. Laundry absorbed the scent, delicate as summer air on linen. She set the bottle aside, wiped the table, and smiled. It smelled of work and calm, a breathing home. Wash wool by hand only. The water in the basin was lukewarm, faintly cloudy with soap. The sweater sank slowly, wool soaking heavily, soft and weighty. No rush, just steady motion. Grandma's hands pressed gently, water swirling around each fiber, lifting dirt without force. No rubbing, no wringing, just a soft press to preserve the weave foam settled. She wrapped the sweater in a towel, absorbing moisture without stretching. Laid flat, it dried, shape intact, fibers soft. Her calm ensured the wool's longevity, a quiet act of care. Natural laundry scent through storage. The wardrobe stood open, neatly folded laundry in rows. Between stacks, small linen sachets held lavender and dried lemon peel. Their scent mingled with the fabric's clarity, light, subtle, familiar. Essential oils gently coated the fibers, keeping them fresh, free of damp or foreign odors. Grandma lifted a sachet, pressed it lightly, releasing a new wave of scent. A hint of summer filled the air, clean and warm. She set it back, smoothed the linens, and closed the door slowly. The fragrance lingered, filling the room with calm and time. A breathing home, sustained by order and care. Place soap pieces between laundry. Grandma took a soap bar from the drawer, smooth, pale, faintly scented. She wrapped it in linen, tied it with thread, and placed it among the laundry. The scent filled the wardrobe, clean, soft, lasting. The soap released its fragrance slowly, settling over fabrics without overwhelming. Each movement, each door opening, revived it lavender, rosemary, or lemon, depending on season or mood. She checked the stack, smoothed the edges, satisfied. A wardrobe of order, a room of calm laundry stayed vibrant, even in the stillness of time. Iron with a damp cloth. The iron glided softly over the fabric, steady, controlled. Between metal and cloth lay a thin, damp cloth, nearly sheer. Steam rose, filling the room with warmth and work scent. The cloth's moisture eased wrinkles. The heat smoothed them without harming fibers. No sheen, no marks, just soft, firm surfaces. Grandma leaned forward, checking her work with a hand. The fabric was cool, smooth, wardrobe-ready. She set the damp cloth aside, still moist, but clean. The iron rested, the table clear, the laundry neatly stacked. Joy in laundry, the quiet ritual. Grandma stood still, the work done. The final stack lay on the table, neatly folded, edges crisp. The air held the scent of soap and sun, warm, familiar. The machine was silent, water drained, only fabric's rustle remained. Every thread clean, every motion complete. It was never just about laundry, but about order, the peace that follows, a ritual. The house breathed calmly again. Grandma rested her hands on her apron, her gaze soft, almost content. No words, no noise, just the certainty that all was in place, a moment of clarity. Simple, quiet, complete. The sun hung low, golden light falling on the folded stacks. All was calm, the work complete. Grandma stepped to the door, wiped her hands on her apron, and smiled. In such moments lay something lasting, the knowledge that even the smallest effort holds value. These old methods carry more than cleanliness. They speak of patience, calm, devotion. If you want to discover more such simple, beautiful ways, stay with us. Subscribe, share the video, pass it on. This is about what endures when all else fades, the art of doing the everyday with dignity.